Hello there. You're welcome to our live stream from Trumpet Media Group. This morning we have a very special guest who is going to be speaking on an area which is dear to quite a number of members of the community. The person I'm going to be speaking to, he is the CEO and founder of Juliana Asthma Cause Charity. He's also someone who writes on a number of social issues, including mental health, asthma health, and even general interest areas in terms of things like Nigeria's insecurity. It's my pleasure to welcome Otunba, Winston, Ademola, Adeeko. Let's just see. Otunba, are you there?
Yeah, good morning. I'm here. Yeah, good morning, having me.
Thank you so much. Bear with me. I'm just trying to make sure that we can bring you up. Okay. So thank you so much, Otumba.
Good
Let's
morning.
start by, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, what you do aside from Juliana Asthma course. Probably, in fact, maybe starting from maybe birth, school and early life.
Yeah, good morning, Chief Otuba. Thank you for having me. Good morning. First and foremost, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to come on your program. Even though I wasn't expecting this, it was an impromptu, you know, audience, but notwithstanding, I will still, I really appreciate. First and foremost, I started at Surulere Grammar School. That's where I had my primary education. Then I moved on from there. I went to Baptist Academy, Yaba, Lagos, where I finished my secondary education. That was in 1979. Then I went from there. I proceeded to Ilaro, Federal Poly Ilaro, where I had my business, where I did business admin. As my main area of education is business and finance, where I did my OND. So from there, I move on to, then I finished in 1988, then where I proceeded to London to continue my education. I enrolled as a student just to continue my on the Roehampton University. That was in 1970, 1995 to be precise. Then from there, I proceeded to, to continue my master's digital marketing. So I finished 2018, where I finished, that's where I finished my digital marketing. Then from there, I decided to, you know, specialize in digital all along. Even though I have the flair for writing or discovering things, I love writing is always my main area, you know. I have the flair for it. So that's that's that on my
Okay. Okay.
educational background.
Okay. There's a word you mentioned or a phrase you mentioned in there, which is about digital marketing, and there seems to be quite a lot of publicity, focus on digital marketing at the moment.
Oh,
Why is digital marketing really important in today's world?
I think if you look at digital marketing, it's for the younger generation. If you look at it from my perspective, because you can, you know, this new invention about this social media coming up, all these Facebook, Instagram, you'll be able to position your business. I think that's the reason why I went into it, because I realized that, the traditional method of marketing doesn't work nowadays. So going digital, we position you to the outside world. People will see exactly the nature of business you are doing. It's much more faster. You understand me? Rather than going through the traditional approach, I'm talking about using all these banner. It doesn't. It's not welcome nowadays. I mean, we can all see what's going on around us. New invention coming up, AI coming up. You know, they're around. All this invention is. I think it's a powerful tool that will expose you more. I think that's more of the reason I venture into digital marketing. And at that level I went, it was, I believe it will help my business, it will also help my charity as well to be seen, to become visible to that world, to digital marketing as a course, as a career. And this would be an opportunity for other people also to, go into the younger generation, that you can utilize it, to build your business to be seen all over the world.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So let's talk about Juliana Asthma Cause Charity. Um, Obviously, from the name of the charity, one can see that there's a focus on asthma. Why did you set up the charity? What's the reason behind it? And in terms of activities and milestones, what can you really highlight as probably achievements and milestones and activities of the
Mm.
charity?
Yeah, the reason why I set up the charity, because it was born out of pain, the challenges my mother went through. The name Juliana is taken from my mother is Juliana. That's her name, Juliana Adeeko. I'm always with her when she, the experiences we went through when she was, going through this pain of asthma, breathlessness. I could remember when my daddy always, carry her to the hospital when the asthma triggers. And some of the symptoms of asthma, when I was living with her, I mean, like when people are cooking, like oil, all these palm oil or probably dust, that would trigger it. And I could always remember when she had sleepless nights. She won't be able to. She'll be breathing breathlessly, furiously and profusely. Let me use that word. And as a result, you understand me. It in fact, it was a serious challenge for her. And I think, I mean, it started when she was at an early age. You understand me? Because I could remember when she went back, I mean, she went to school in England with my dad. They came over here, to have their education and all that. Now, when the asthma started, I remember my daddy couldn't wear it anymore because it nearly claimed her life. As a result of that, they have to fly her back to Nigeria because she couldn't cope. The coping mechanism was too strenuous for her. She couldn't cope with it. So they need to fly her back to Nigeria. I could remember I was 2 years old then. So the experience she went through, the painful experience, the trauma was very, and as a result, that as an inspiration, that I will use that as an inspiration to other asthma victims. What I mean, that the pain I went through with her, the sleepless nights, I decided to set up that charity called Juliana Asthma Cause. And I feel it's a way of giving back to the society, telling the society that it's a way to overcome it. Even though you can cure asthma, but you can manage it. Asthma can be managed effectively. So that is why I took up that course, and I decided to, campaign all over the country. In fact, we have another foundation, Juliana Asthma Foundation in Nigeria, whereby we've distributed nebulizers to each and every hospital, a way of trying to help, encourage people, on how to manage their asthma.
Okay. Thanks for that. For the purposes of our audience, what exactly are nebulizers?
Nebulizers is just a way of trying to, it's a way of trying to reduce when you are. It's for people with chronic condition, chronic asthma. It's used for people with chronic condition, people that can overcome it easily. So it's a special. We use that for people who are battling to struggle with it. So it's much more faster than inhaler. The inhaler is a mild one, but when we talk about nebulizer is a chronic one. It relieves those with chronic condition. So that's why we use nebulizers. That's why so many hospitals in Nigeria they don't have it. So we decided to see how we can help. At least I've distributed to about 40, let me see, about almost 40 people, 40 hospitals rather. Sorry, 40 hospitals rather with my colleagues, Mr. Meso Iton. Mr. Oliton is a lawyer, so he was the one with his colleague who helped me in distributing these nebulizers to all each and every hospitals we can touch within the environment of Nigeria.
Mm.
Sorry to go back home again. So that is why that's what nebulizer is for.
Okay. So, and then obviously you've spoken about, sorry to hear about the pain that especially that your mom had to go through, and obviously that's what has inspired starting of this charity. But then the question is, um, what causes asthma and how can
Mm.
it be managed?
Yeah, I mean, asthma could be. I mean, there are so many elements. There are so many factors. For instance, in a very hot weather, it could be pollen. It could be can trigger it. Maybe perfumes or these fragrance could also trigger it. For instance, in Nigeria now, we have a high pollution rate of dust. Dust can also trigger it as well. So these are the symptoms we need to guide against. That is why it's so good to, create awareness on how people can, prevent, all these symptoms from arising. So the pollution, air pollution, could be flowers. They don't like flowers around them. Could also trigger it. So based on the experience my mother went through, and from the research I carried, you understand me, all these needs to be avoided. They have to trigger ailment or this asthma ailment. So precaution need to be taken, to avoid all these signs of, you know, all these signs of symptoms that can trigger asthma.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So, in terms of, obviously we're proceeding into a new year now, 2026. What are the plans of the charity in terms of its activities, either here or back in Nigeria, where you say you do a lot of work?
Um, my plan for even though my plan for 2026, I would say financial limitation is a drawback. It's a great job. I mean, we've been trying to see how we can raise money, to buy all these equipment, because it will really help. We need donation from every angle. So my priority this 2027, my priority attention is to see how we can raise some money because our plan is to go back to Nigeria as well to, you know, maybe we can get some nebulizer. We are planning to, touch at least 40, 48, 45 hospitals whereby God they've been writing to us. I've been communicating with the hospitals over there, and they really appreciate what we've been doing. So we want to go probably down to probably Abeokuta, where we can reach out to them. People need of this nebulizer because the government can't really do that, and our system is faulty. So really need this where we come in. The government can't really help us with a way of trying to see how we can finance this equipment because they are very, very expensive over here. So I'm trying to see how we can raise some money, buy this equipment and see how we can help in the rural areas, how we can touch every nook and corners of these areas and see how we can help some of those people. Because I've spoken to one of their, head of medical practitioner who is willing to work along with me that they really need this equipment. And they've seen what I've done so far. We've touched Ikeja area. I'm talking about Lagos territory. We've touched Lagos. We've touched Ikoyi hospitals. And you can go there and check, what we've done so far. But one thing about we Nigerians, I'm sorry, they don't really support, and I don't know why. They don't really, 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 support. Even though in England they have been able to see how I can, touch, raise campaign, create awareness within the UK. Supportive so far in the UK, but in Nigeria, there we are still serious. We are looking for, serious partner or donation who can help us as well along this journey on how we can, buy this equipment because they are very, very expensive to get over here. So this is my plan for 2026 so far, and I believe, we do something there. We should be able to achieve our goals within, the time frame. So I'm
Mm.
hoping people will come up and help us in backing us and see how we can help people out there because it's a serious cause. It's a serious challenge. Sorry, let me use that word challenge. People are facing. People die every day as a result of pollution. Air pollution over there. So I hope they will be able to, help us here and see how they can support this organization. And for the fact that we've been operating for the past, I would say over 15 years now, because I know we started in 2015 in England here. So July 2015, that's when we start the organization. So
Okay.
that's
So
that.
you speak of the challenges in terms of support, especially in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Is it worthwhile probably partnering with perhaps some NGOs back in Nigeria? Is it worthwhile looking at some international charities, or funders? Have there been any efforts in that area? Is that something that is on
Mm.
the trade card? Is it worth speaking to probably either the state governments or local governments and see if there's any way, whether through some form of collaboration, that funds could be raised?
Yeah, I've spoken to few organizations in Nigeria, especially um, city people. I remember we spoke to city people then. I mean, they did what they can. I could remember then. Maybe they can connect us with maybe we can affiliate with the federal government in Nigeria there. But all to no avail. We went to so many organizations like Glaxo, for instance. They specialize in all these health issue, health related issue. You know, we spoke to them, but they didn't get back to us. We approached so many organizations. MTN is one of them. I remember we spoke to MTN, we spoke to Glow, but there was no positive response then. So I have to use my own money to see how I can, because I don't give up easily. I don't really give up easily because the cause is so dear to me. So I've been trying to see how we can touch other organizations. I know I've written to so many NGO organizations. Maybe they can be of help as well to back us financially. But I'm still waiting for their reply. So these are the challenges I'm going through so far. In life, there are always challenges anyway. So I've accepted that. It's part of the journey. So whatever people can do out there to help us, that would be great. In affiliation with the federal government, and the federal government can't really do much because I remember we approached the Lagos state government. Then was Ambode. Then we went with some groups, you know, but we couldn't approach. We couldn't see him. So this is one of the drawbacks so many other charities are going through, and if they can support us, that would be great. So my appeal out there to the public out there is to, you know, is if there's any other way they can support us, you know, probably towards the equipment, it could be logistic, because I'm trying to see how I can, because we are going there for June to see how we can help other organizations out there. I'm talking about the hospitals in Abeokuta. We want to touch those areas as well, because I've liaised with the head of department there. That they need all this equipment, and they saw what we've done in Lagos and they were impressed. So far so good. I hope that will be my main goal. My vision for 2026.
Okay. And
Yeah,
so, as we try and bring this to a close,
yeah.
what if anyone wants to help the charity?
Mm.
How do they reach out to you?
Yeah,
So,
we are.
contact details.
Even though yeah, thank you so much for that, Chief Okutubo. Our website is down for now. I'm trying to see how we can put it back on because of financial constraint. So I mean, we are on TikTok already. Even though my name is Winston Adeeko on TikTok, we have our account number there on the TikTok. App. If they want to reach us in any way, small little donation helps. We don't mind. We are on TikTok. They can also reach us on our website, Juliana Juliana Asthma course at gmail.com. They can reach us there. They can also reach us on our UK website, Juliana Asthma course. Our charity number is 1162871. They can also reach us there if they want to, you know, help us whatsoever. And if any organization feel like affiliating with us, we don't mind. Any help in every nook and corner, helps. Every little helps. So
O- Okay. So
that's
it's
our channel.
Mr. Adeeko on TikTok.
Yes,
The
yeah.
email address is julianaasmacos
Us at
at gmail.com.
email.com. That's our email. They can also
Yeah.
reach us on our TikTok as well.
Okay. Which is
And
Mr. Adeeko
Mr.
on
Adeeko,
TikTok.
you're on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. And then you
yeah.
said the website will be back up soon,
Very, very soon,
which is
shortly. Asthma
julianaasmacos
course, exactly.
dot org.
Org. But we
Dot,
haven't established the host. We are trying to establish the right one, might be,
oh,
But I will keep in touch, sir.
okay.
I
Okay.
will give you all the
Okay.
information.
Is
Yeah.
there a telephone number as well that you might want to share?
Yes, please. Yeah, my number is 07474182288. I repeat, 07474182288.
Okay. So, and obviously, if anyone is calling from outside of the UK, they're going
Yes.
to need to add the +44.
Yes, please. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the way. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Thank you so much, Otunba Winston Ademola Adeeko, CEO and founder of Juliana Asthma Cause Charity. It's been a pleasure chatting with you
Pleasure.
about asthma. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Pleasure. Thank you.